Hey everyone, welcome back to the Studio, and today I'm here with a brand new video for you guys. I'm going to be talking about Big Shot, Season 1, Episodes 7 and 8, titled Kalm, Korn, and Everything to Me. So these were two pretty good episodes, I gotta say. If you are watching this series, if you're watching Big Shot, comment down below, what did you think of these episodes, because I would love to hear your feedback. If there's something you don't agree with me with, that's fine, just leave it in the comments down below, I guess, in a kind-natured way. I probably that probably sounds weird, but these two episodes I think were really good episodes because I think this show is slowly starting to get a lot better, and I think it was good from the start, but I think really we're getting into a path of great here. However, certain things are kind of confusing to me. Like, I feel like they're packing way too much into one episode. I get they're supposed to be hour long, which in TV typically means about 45 minutes, but I don't know. I feel like I read the recaps and I feel like they just drag by and drag by. The episode doesn't as bad, but I kind of feel bad for those people who had to cover it. So I just do feel like it just drags by a little bit, and I get they're trying to pack as much into it as they can because they only have 10 episodes. But I think I actually prefer the second one more, which might be an unpopular opinion. I think the first one was good, but I think the eighth one just really had more emotion to it. Okay, so I want to start out talking about Kalm, Korn. Pretty much here, Marvin gets the statue back that in Wisconsin some kids tore down after his reputation was ruined, and he has it back now. And he's kind of struggling with a lot of life things. He's kind of struggling with kind of letting Emma have more freedom, and he's also struggling with undermining Holly. I think Marvin wants to take control, obviously. So, you know, he's still trying. He has trouble letting Holly kind of take charge a little bit, and I think after their dinner this episode, I think it really shows that he's going to do better, and I think he does in the next episode. But here we have Maggie wants Marvin to be kind of like take things more seriously, and so they can try to pursue something, and there's just so many different issues going on here. And that causes him to turn to his agent Sam to try to get him back into college, which means he would have to leave Westbrook. Which next episode we just kind of get more into that, but he's just kind of struggling with that. I think he's kind of struggling with finding his place here because this was supposed to be temporary, and he really is. Things are like settling down here. I mean, he's getting himself a girlfriend. His daughter lives here. He's really getting comfortable with the members of the team. He has a close friendship with Holly. The school has treated him well for his bad reputation. Turns out the reason why they are kind of hesitant is because he had to prove he could like play nice at a high school for a year, but since he didn't, they're not really looking for a guy like him. And I think in the next episode, I think that changes, obviously. But yeah, Marvin's kind of just struggling with that. And he's trying to decide, like, should he pursue something with Maggie? Meanwhile, he ends up going on a date with Holly, or a date you can call it. Pretty much just a way Emma sets it up so she can get some people over to the house. So him and Holly go on a date, and they kind of just like talk. They're kind of like flirting a little bit. Pretty much, he says he's gonna stop undermining her and let her just have some of it. He takes her to a fancy dinner instead of them just going to the burger place that they normally go to. So they're just, I think, kind of growing closer in that sense. And she tells him her dating criteria, which if you're going to tell a man that, you obviously are into him. I kind of feel like just that's flirting, like, you know, it's simple. It's simple what they're trying to do here. So I really, that was good. So yeah, Emma wants to throw a party. Louise encourages her to, and all the girls encourage her to. Marvin agrees, which you might find that kind of surprising, but he agrees only friends, only girls, no boys, and there turns out to be a lot of boys at the party. Pretty much, we have Louise and Dylan, her kind of lifelong friend, like best friend pretty much. They've known each other for a long time. So, and he's starting to grow feelings, and I mean, he definitely has feelings, and I think she kind of does too, but she's afraid to face them because of that whole thing that we all know about is just You don't want to ruin your friendship with someone. If you have a really strong friendship with someone, which I think this parallels to a ship that I'm not going to say, but if you have really good feelings for someone, sometimes you just can't do it. You can't pursue something because you don't want to ruin that relationship with someone at all. If things end, that could just be done. And I think it is a struggle. So he kisses her, and then he tries to kind of make more moves on her in more of in a gentle way, because he wants to show that he cares about her, but she rejects him. So then he leaves. So, I was kind of sad just because I think that these two kind of look cute together. I mean, I think that they have the looks and they definitely just have a good friendship. I mean, we saw how supportive he was a few episodes back with the whole thing. Maybe in the future it'll kind of get re-explored, but for now, I guess that's just kind of in the past. Okay, so we have other things going on, like Mouse is crushing more on Harper. She actually comes to the party. We also have going on Jake Matthews, who's the guy who was talking trash about Louise's dad. He is also at the party, and Olive's kind of flirting with him too, so they kind of have like a back and forth there. And then this guy is messing around with the statue, and the statue accidentally knocks into the door, so they left like a thing there. And then Lucas gets into a fight with this Jake guy, and things do not end good because then Emma calls Marvin, and Marvin and Holly come and get everyone out. So then Emma and Marvin have a very interesting conversation in which she says, it's only convenient to be my father, like, you're only being my father when it's convenient, when you can just screw me around pretty much and not let me have friends over, and normally you wouldn't care about this kind of thing, but it just makes you look good to see that, I think you guys get what I'm saying. She's just upset because of course she wants to have supportive father, supportive boyfriend, supportive friends. She wants that, and that was the point of this party, although of course it was going to take a wild turn because this is teen stuff. You can't have a simple teen party. I've learned that in TV shows. Haven't gone to one yet, like a real party. I'm hoping not to. I feel like these kind of shows, they stretch these high school things way too seriously. I'm not going to a party like one of these. Just look at the bad stuff that happens there. Normally there's not statues involved, but apparently here there was. So then he forbids her from seeing Emma from seeing Lucas. So that's pretty much the episode, and then Marvin gives Maggie flowers and makes reservations, so he's just kind of moving things along. So that was episode 7. Overall, I think I'd give this one a 7.5 out of 10. It had some good moments. The party stuff was just, I feel like this episode just wasn't focusing on basketball, which I guess is fine. I guess this show is really just trying to dive into the characters, But yeah, I give it a 7.5. I think it still had some great moments, and I specifically like the Marvin and Holly little date. Moving into episode 8, titled Everything to Me, pretty much there is something called Korn, which is an Instagram profile kind of like bullying Marvin. So that's going on, and he's kind of struggling with that, trying to find out who's doing it, although he's also frustrated because the construction in the gym is not going as well as he hoped because these people aren't working seriously enough. So he's struggling with that because apparently Linda Point is their next basketball game. And they don't play. I'll talk about that later on. And he's telling them, don't underestimate your opponent because apparently they've beat Linda Point in all of their years of playing. So he's just trying to tell them, like, just because you beat them, don't underestimate them, because then you're not going to learn a life lesson, which is don't underestimate your opponent, because you never know. And it's really, if you don't underestimate your opponent, then you're going to look like a tougher player, and you're going to think you're going to come out of the situation better. I think that's what he's trying to teach these girls here. We also kind of have going on here, Emma's auditioning for the play because all the roles have been cast. She actually didn't audition, she's just kind of like helping out. And apparently Beth Macbeth is out, so they need someone to fill in the role. And of course Harper comes in. Apparently Harper is Maggie's daughter. Interesting twist, I did not expect it. I mean, she revealed she had a daughter last episode, but pretty much then we also have Marvin is still forbidding Emma from seeing Lucas, and Emma's not talking to him. And Holly says it's ridiculous how he's not letting Emma talk to Lucas. We also have going on. I'm kind of it's interesting just to kind of say. Hang on a second. Miss Grant is being a pain. So, sorry about that pause. She's just not really doing it for me. I guess she's supposed to be the villain because I thought she was warming up to Marvin. I thought that was what was going on here, but apparently not. Apparently she's just antagonizing him, and then apparently Miss Grant knows about the date that Marvin and Holly were on, so she reveals that to Maggie, and Maggie doesn't really get jealous, but her and Marvin are obviously having this issue to define their relationship, which is DTR. Yeah, they're struggling to have this issue as to what they're supposed to do. I don't think they're going to work out. I mean, obviously, I want Marvin and Holly to be together, but I'm not sure where that's going to go. So yeah, she's just being a pain. We also have a conversation with Marvin and Sherilyn, and pretty much she's kind of like accuses him of looking outside of the district to try to get back into college basketball. And she says, Larry Grzyski brought you here. With him gone, you don't have any friends around here anymore. So, interesting there. So she's obviously upset because he really made an impact to those girls. For him to just leave is really going to hurt themselves. So she makes him promise that he'll get them to D2 and before leaving. We also found out that the people behind Kalm Korn Instagram page were Samantha and Mouse. So, whatever. Interesting, I gotta say. Oh, sorry, it was Olive. My mistake, I got them confused. So yeah, Olive and Samantha are behind Kalm Korn. And Marvin takes this personally. He kind of goes off. He's like, I can't believe you guys. Holly kind of says that, this is the part I don't really agree with. Holly says, you're being too sensitive about this, but it's still a form of bullying. Whether it's just for fun or not, they were still bullying Marvin. Sure, they may have not known it. They may have not thought that way. But Marvin, of course, he has the right to take this personally, so no one should really be judging or making him feel that, like, he is being too sensitive. So, I mean, these are his team players, the ones who he thought had their backs. He thought they had some sort of trust in the way that they would never, like, do this kind of thing to them, which, kind of unfortunate, but... and then we see that that he kind of sets up something with another girl, so he puts their 5 starters against this girl. So don't underestimate their opponent, which is kind of like teaching it again. Even though there's this girl who hasn't been on a basketball team, but she ends up beating them. So again, there's a very important lesson to learn there. That was kind of the second time. So then we find out that Destiny's aunt is actually her real mother, which means who she thought was her aunt, who she thought was her mom is her aunt. That's really confusing. So these two are sisters we already knew. Yeah, I'm confused. But I do understand kind of where they're going because Louise overhears it, and then Destiny overhears it. So it turns out that so Angel had her, but then she walked out. Angel had her, and she just she kind of walked out, and then so her sister kind of take up on raising her, but then Angel came back and kind of started to fall in that place again. So they kind of been co-raising her, but they just used that because I don't remember the name of the mom, but she didn't want her to grow up with that type of mother. She wanted who she thought was her mother just to be safe. Yeah, it's really confusing to talk about, but very interesting plot twist, I gotta say. Comment down below what did you think of this very interesting way of going about it. I didn't know they would do this, but there you go. So I'm sure, because in the promo in the next episode, Destiny confronts her real aunt, who she thought was her mom. So then they're about to play Point Linda, and then Marvin finds out that Holly has gotten into a car accident, so they all they all they kind of just they give up and they all go and visit Holly. And Marvin and Holly have an interesting moment where you can definitely tell that there's some possible romantic feelings there. I don't know, but I'm sure in future episodes we're gonna get to see more of that. I really did like their conversation and how they just really do care about each other, and shows that these girls really do care about you if they're gonna forfeit and go and come and take care of you. I really just did like it. It's really highlighting how Marvin's kind of fitting in and how he connects with Holly. The car accident, I don't know what I was expecting because it was in the promo, but we also, at the end of the episode, we kind of get that Marvin gets a phone call from Sam, and there's an opening for a spot at, I don't remember the name of it, but Marvin might be leaving. So that's kind of the big cliffhanger. Is he going to take this position or not? What will happen with Emma, Maggie, Holly, all the other team members? So, cliffhanger there. 2 more episodes left. Episode 8, I give a solid 8 out of 10. Great episode. Again, I think my only issue was I think it's a little bit too long. Kind of feel bad for those recapping people. Anyways, I want to thank everyone for watching the Whoopi Studio. I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and